Hey there, everybody. So this is something that I kind of wanted to make a real video on, but it's kind of like way too. I have like frosted sugar on my shirt. Just noticed that. Oh man, that's gross. That's gross. I'm a dirty pig. But so as you can see here on my Twitter, Game Freak has apparently, or Nintendo of Europe has declared the Game Freak is going to be making a core RPG Pokemon title, so a real one, not like Pokemon Colosseum or anything like that for the Nintendo Switch. That is something that I've been actually looking forward to since I got the damn thing, along with Animal Crossing. Like, I will take a port at this point. I just want Animal Crossing on a real console, so I will play it more. So maybe we'll get more information later, and that's kind of why I don't want to make a full-on video. I just kind of make a little tiny thing. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I love, like, Pokemon is one of those games that I love, but I hate it because it hasn't innovated like at all in the past fucking, well, like, how long's it been going on? Like 95? Since 1995. There's barely been any innovation, and any that there wasn't really in the battle space, it was in the overworld itself, and when you actually get to the next game, they throw it out. Pokemon falling behind you in Pokemon Yellow. Thrown away, brought back for Soul Silver, and then, you know, thrown away again. Fucking contests, Generation 3, thrown out, gotten rid of, and replaced with something else in black and white I don't care about because they're worse. Pokeblocks, thrown out, replaced with Puffins, thrown out, replaced with Pokepuffs, thrown out, replaced with Pokemon Beans, and each time they've done this, they've made getting these things to make your Pokemon like you easier and easier and easier, to the point where it's just like, oh, I finished a battle, have a bean that I get for free by going to a Pokemon Center. It's kind of lame. And that's not even to pay attention at all to the battling thing, which has remained exactly the same. Like, say what you will, but yeah, double battles were cool, trio battles were cool, horde battles are cool, but they're still the exact same fucking thing. Like, Mega Evolution is probably the most innovation that was done, but all that is, it's essentially the same thing as using Howl. Like, it's the exact same thing as just raising your stats using a stat boost move. That's it. Like, and some Pokemon, it changes their ability, because Kangaskhan can hit twice, and Venusaur becomes resistant to the fire-based moves, whatever. It don't really fucking change anything, does it? Even Z-moves are worse, because it's just the exact same battle system, except you do a dance before you do a move, so it takes twice as freaking long. It's kind of dumb. Like, honestly, if they're gonna make a new Pokemon title, then I feel like maybe they should update the engine a little bit, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about here. And what you just be saying that took up almost 4 minutes. Oh boy. Like, so I'm thinking, if Pokemon is going to continue on, and especially if they're going to be using the Switch, I think they might need to change up the battle system a bit. That's just something, especially because the current Pokemon games, they use the bottom screen for, you know, picking your moves, and there's no bottom screen on the Switch, so what are they going to do? Going to go back to, like, the Gen 3 stuff, where it was just like, oh yeah, no, it's like a little tiny bar at the bottom of the screen. Like, okay, you can do that, but you're missing like a massive chance to do something that's actually new and exciting, especially because Pokken exists and Pokken's getting a port. I'm thinking that Nintendo's never gonna see this. They're never gonna see this, and nor will they care, because I'm just a white boy. I'm like, oh, filthy gaijin, he know nothing about Pokemon. But it's definitely something that they probably look at. Like, honestly, what I would want to see is something that's a little bit more active, and that's something that Final Fantasy has, like the OG turn-based RPG, has done very, very well. Like even like going to Final Fantasy VI, there weren't even like Final Fantasy VI, there weren't turns. They were just like, hey, here's your character, here's their speed. Their speed is how quickly they can go between attacks, and it fills that little bar. Like even if Pokemon just had something like that, where like instead of determining like what turn order, it's like, hey, here's how quickly you can recover and do another attack. Or even if they went whole hog with it, and because they have a full console to work with instead of a handheld, why not do something more like Final Fantasy 15? Like I send out my Venusaur. I've built it for special attack, so I'm running and jumping around, firing Razor Leafs and Sleep Powder and using Grass Knot and like all this stuff to try and keep someone at range. Like a simplified Pokken almost. Or like if I had my Blaziken, it's like all the abilities are about closing distance. I don't know, it's just kind of something to think about. Just something that really Nintendo should think about changing, because Pokemon is getting really, really dull. Honestly, it's getting way, way duller than it was. Like I played Pokemon Moon, I beat it. Like I beat the champions. I got to the Elite Four. I did all that, and then I did the Ultra Beast stuff, and it was like, okay, what do I do now? Oh, I go to the battle tower and I do the lame battles with no with no framing. And once you take the framing away, you got nothing. You got nothing. Like the little battle tower, is it battle tower or battle tree? One of the two. Battle tower tree. You go through, you do that, you beat all these trainers on your way, and you get there and there's red and blue there, right? And you have this whole thing with them and you fight them, and then you can do the battle tree. But then while you're doing the battle tree, it's like, oh, there's all these generic trainers. And they're hard as fuck for no reason. I guess I just stopped playing then. Because it's literally just, you throw your Pokemon at their Pokemon until they fall down. And you just take turns. And you min-max, and you beat them, and then that's it. Like, as the game went on, and the framing started falling away because I was beating the game, yeah, if your main battle system doesn't work without the crutch of the story around it, then it's a bad battle system. Like, that's the reason people made so many memes out of Pokemon. That's because the framing around it was like, the first time you do the fighting Z move and your Machop or Hariyama or whatever you have does like order. That's cool. The 100th time you do it, you've lost the fucking point. What is the point there? There is not one. There is not one there. So it's like, you go through and you got Guzma, and he's like, yo, it's your boy Guzma, what's up? And then you fight him, you destroy him, and then that's it. I don't know. But I honestly, I really just wanted to have like a conversation, honestly, and I'm sorry for talking this long. So down there in the comments, like, do you think Pokemon should change up its battle style, or do you think it should kind of just stay the same? I think they really, really need to redo it and just kind of give it another shot there. Be like, hey, let's make something that's not the same thing we've been doing since 1995. Let's just do that. And what kind of battle systems would you want to see in Pokemon? Would you like to see something more like that's more active? Would you like to see something that's more like Pokken, or fucking like, imagine like Pokemon Dark Souls, Poke Souls? That'd be fun. Let me know down there in the comments. This E3, like all this stuff that's been coming out of E3, has been really interesting. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming out that I really like, and the Nintendo stuff is cool, but I can't do any of it because then Nintendo will copyright strike me because they're assholes. and everybody. So as always, I am Nozovix. Thank you all for watching this, even though this is way longer than I thought I wanted it to be. And as always, I will see you in my next video. But most importantly of all, I shall see you around.